Hey everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete, and welcome to another episode in my horror debate series with my good buddy Carlin. As you know, we're debating a wide array of topics in the horror genre. So, after you watch this video, please go to Carlin's channel, link in the description below. You know the drill, watch his video, and then he'll have a community tab open on his page, and if you'd like to vote, you can vote for who you thought had the better argument. Me, him, as also a tie option. You don't have to vote, it's just there if you choose to. Also, the topic, let us know what your selection is in the comments down below. We both love reading those comments and just talking horror with everybody. So, I read every single comment. I know he does. So, yeah, please leave those comments. So, what we're discussing this week is what is the most disturbing horror movies. Now, there are a lot of disturbing horror movies out there. And I really don't have to think too long on this one because for me, I picked 2008 Martyrs, directed by Pascal Larrier. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It was part of the new French extremity movement, which focused on pushing boundaries of traditional horror while exploring, extreme types of themes. Now, there are many disturbing horror movies out there, but some of them are just for shock value. There's no substance to the film. They're just like discount snuff films. And there's not much really to themes in them, like August Underground or the Guinea Pig franchises, or examples of movies like that. I don't really consider them disturbing per se, because that's all, it's just shock value stuff. There's no disturbing themes and concepts to the film. Because what makes a disturbing film? I believe there are several factors that make a horror movie disturbing, and Martyrs simply has all of these qualities. For one, I think it has to have graphic violence. Now, this movie features brutal violence, including physical and psychological torture. The level of violence portrayed is explicit, it's unrelenting, and it really does leave a lasting impact on the viewer. The opening scene during the breakfast is like a shock. It's a shock to open the movie. You're seeing a lovely-looking, peaceful family enjoying a breakfast, and then BAM! Not a lot of dialogue in this opening as well, and I think it totally works better that way. Because there are a lot of scenes of intense body horror here. Now, the ending of the movie, after Anna had endured all the torture that she had experienced, her interaction with Mademoiselle really leaves you feeling a whole lot of WTF. What did I just see? After what she just experienced and what happens to her at the end. Another reason I feel this movie is totally disturbing is the hopelessness. Now, Martyrs was written and directed by Pascal Larrier, who also wrote and directed Incident in a Ghostland. Now, he's really good at making you feel hopelessness. Throughout the movie, that sense of despair stays with you the entire runtime. The characters are trapped in this cycle of suffering, and it's often relenting. And I think that creates an atmosphere of dread that intensifies the disturbing nature of this film. It places characters in isolated, vulnerable situations that are cut off from help or support. And I think that really heightens that feeling of hopelessness and despair. There are themes of pain and suffering. The film explores themes of desperation, anxiety, anguish, and intense suffering, as I said. Lucy and Anna go through unimaginable experiences that can be really hard to watch for some viewers. At one point you think the torture is going to end, but it just keeps going and going. It gets worse and worse. It's not a film you walk away from with a smile on your face. It leaves you in deep thought at the end. You have to process the film you just watched and try to piece everything together. You may even have more questions than answers when you're done watching this film. Now, anytime you meet somebody or talk to somebody who knows this film, you get a certain reaction from them. Like, hey, have you seen the movie Martyrs in 2008? You get a certain reaction and I think that's a visceral reaction that this film can really give to viewers. Another disturbing aspect of the movie is that when you watch it, you become invested with Anna and Lucy, and the movie doesn't end well for either of them. It's quite the contrary. They're relentlessly tortured throughout the entire film, and once the movie starts, it never really lets go of that grip it has on you, and that really makes the movie more disturbing. The film has unexpected twists and turns, and often blurs the line between what's happening in reality and what parts are hallucination. Like I said in the movie's opening, you see the way this family just gets slaughtered, and at first you think they're all innocent, but then the movie tricks you and lets you know that these people were not all innocent. So the beginning, you almost feel sorry for the family, and then you feel guilty for feeling sorry for them when you realize what they were actually guilty of. And I think those twists and turns adds to the disturbing nature of the film because it leaves the viewer feeling unsettled and even disorientated at times. After talking about the cinematography, how it makes this movie disturbing, there are strong visuals here, and even the sound design I really think can affect the viewer. This matches really well with the pacing, never letting you feel comfortable with what you're watching. It doesn't let you feel at ease at any moment. The movie doesn't have a ton of dialogue because the plot, I think, is more driven by the actor's physical performance and the cinematography. Pascal Laugier does this really, really well. Like I said, one of his other films in the beginning of the video, Incident in the Ghostland, he does that. It's almost has that same feeling of despair and dread in that movie because it's just so unrelenting. The movie makes this, that makes the movie really disturbing, and it amplifies it since it never lets up or gives you a chance to feel that things are maybe okay. And then I talked about the ambiguity of the ending. What did Anna tell Mademoiselle? Why did Mademoiselle unalive herself? You know, if we had an answer to any of those questions, then I think the disturbing aspect of this film would not have been felt as much. Not giving the audience an answer as if we don't deserve an answer was the best way to end this movie. And I look at it this way. Only Anna got to know what she saw because she earned that right enduring all that torture. We as the audience didn't live through what she did, so we don't know. And what happens when you press for an answer that you're not ready to receive? Just ask Mademoiselle, and she did what she did because maybe she wasn't ready to receive that answer, and not knowing that, like, oh my god, what really happened makes the movie more disturbing. Not having that answer, because if you have a fear of the unknown, that's what we're left with here. You know, this is a movie that after it's over, you just kind of sit there quietly during the credits. I feel Martyrs can be challenging for some people to sit through. It can really test their tolerance for disturbing content. It also made me think about the darker aspects of humanity. The movie made me think to myself, this movie 100% can happen. Because there's really nothing supernatural here. This is something that can totally happen, and maybe it has. We don't know. You know, for a movie to even be considered, in my opinion, most disturbing in horror, I think there has to be an element of realism to the film. Not involving ghosts and ghouls and demons, unkillable slashers. For a movie really to be disturbing, it's got to put you in next to the viewer. Have you experience what they're experiencing and make you think, hey, this can really happen to somebody. This may really could happen to me. That's what makes this movie so disturbing, because it makes you think about the horrors of reality. That this is a realistic movie, unfortunately. And I think that really what cements this film as the most disturbing horror film. Well, that should wrap it up. I mean, even though I could talk for a long time on the disturbing aspects of this movie, because it really is that messed up. But thanks for watching. Now, please go to Carl's channel, link in the description below. And if you'd like, you can go to Community tab on his page and vote for who you thought had the better argument, me, him, and there's always a tie option. Also, please let us know in the comments down below what you think the most disturbing horror movie is. Have you seen Martyrs? What did you think about it? Do you think there's a movie more disturbing? Because there are no right or wrong answers. It's just our opinions. We just share and talk about all these great things about the horror genre, and I love it. So, take care, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Be good to each other. I am your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. And remember, with great kills, there must always come great nails.